right, well, sitting here with head coach Terry Ewasiuk. Let's talk a little bit about the upcoming game here against Nate. Now, you're going to be going against arguably the best defensive team in the ACAC. Does that change at all your preparation for this weekend's matchups?
No, not at all. We just go about business the same as we usually would. You know, we have a pretty good idea of how they play. We've played them enough times over the years I have been involved, and you know the system. We know what they use. We know what they use for their power play and what they use for their penalty kill. So it's really more a matter of execution. You know, we have our systems in place. We have the way we do our power play, how we do our penalty kill. So it's just getting mentally ready more than anything. You know it's going to be a tough 2 games. You know that you know they're the premier club in the league and they're in first place and they're tough to score on as their goals against have proven. So it's just another game really in the schedule. It just so happens it's the best team in the on the schedule. So,
yeah.
But no, there's no real special or magic type of practice that we're going to have trying to you know beat them. It's just that we need to do some of the simpler things, the little things better. That'll give us a chance to win.
Okay. Sitting here with Cory Giroux, leader in points for the ACAC currently. How are things going?
Fantastic, actually. Yeah, they're going real well this year, better than I could have expected. My 2 line mates are just they're awesome right now, and we're clicking so well. And definitely can't complain about anything over there.
Yeah, no, actually, that was one of my questions. You got 2 new line mates, and your chemistry has been great. What can you account for that?
I'd have to say probably one. My other line mates from Ontario, Brad. So we probably have the similar respect towards hockey, and I think Ryan, me, and Anderson. We just all 3 of us just made it work real well, and 2 big bodies playing with me really helps me and gives me a lot of open space to do what I want to do with the puck.
Awesome. So 3rd season as a Voyageur. What's the future looking like for you as far as program-wise, as far as hockey-wise?
Right now in school, I'm just trying to get my business completed, and once I get that, hopefully I want to go overseas and continue playing hockey. But right now, I'm just working on school and hope to try and win a championship with the team here.
Awesome, yeah, we hope so too. Now, again, looking ahead here, how do you guys? Is there going to be sort of a switch to the lineup at all? I know you're in a little bit of a skid. Is there something that you're going to do to help yourself get out of that?
Well, it opens the door for changes when you don't win. So you know we're looking at all avenues. You know there are people that we want to get in, and sometimes you have to wait for the right opportunity to give them that chance. So it's something that we're seriously looking at, and you probably will see a change. We'll know more after today's practice. But you know when you're winning, you don't like to make changes other than the goaltenders if they're you know. But so we'll see what happens at practice today, and then. But I do anticipate a couple of changes.
Okay, and if you had to give 3 keys to this matchup, what would your coach's keys to the game be?
Well, for us, we have to be better defensively for sure. We can't allow them to get the kind of opportunities we've allowed other teams to get, and we have to be very strong on our end. We have to capitalize on our opportunities. You know, as you know, against Concordia, we had 59 shots and 46 shots in those 2 games, and yet we only got 1 point out of it. So we've got to be stronger on our end. We have to capitalize on our opportunities, and we have to have good starts to our games. I think that that first game has always been an issue with us. That first period has always been an issue for us. So we need to come out ready to play, and again. Play strongly in our end and capitalize on our opportunities.
Okay. Has there been any issues in the past week, chemistry-wise, for your guys? Anything in the dressing room that needs to be addressed, or?
No. We've you know we're pretty well set on our team. You know sometimes when you guys hear because it's in November. November is always a bad month. Players are getting homesick.
Sure.
You know, especially in the past, we haven't had always that much success during the season, but this year it's been pretty good. So, but November and 99% of the players being from outside of Lac-La-Biche, it always seems November becomes a bad month. Guys get grouchy, guys are homesick, guys are, final exams are right around the corner. They're starting to get stressed. And it does create issues within the team in that, you just try to settle everybody down and relax. And their real release is playing. I mean, that's where they can forget about everything else and get on with what they love doing. So, but right now, we're just, basically preparing for our next game, and it just so happens it's going to be a tough one.
Now, we've talked a bit in the past about the first game of the series being, for whatever reason, more difficult for you guys. Is that going to change the way that you practice today, looking ahead to tomorrow's game?
It usually doesn't, but I think that having a little research on our past history, we need to maybe tweak our practice today a little differently than we have in the past. Players are creatures of habit. They don't like change too much, and they're very superstitious. So, taking all that into consideration hasn't helped our first game or our first period of the first game since in quite a while. So, we're going to have a kind of a different type of practice today. It's going to be a lot of shooting, a lot of skating, and sometimes I wouldn't go into as much of a skating practice, but we do have a day off between games, so that allows us a little break there. So we'll be tweaking, or I'll be tweaking with the practice a little bit, making it a little different, and so we'll see how the players react to that.
Okay. Any interesting superstitions that some of these players have?
You could probably write a book, that would be a good question to ask on one of your interviews, because each of them has something, whether they, when they're going out on the ice, who's got to go up first, who's going on the ice last, the old high five or low five, whatever it may be, they, with a certain person. So they have all these little quirks that they need to do before they go on the ice. Actually, we've had a goaltender years ago in our first year here that if everything wasn't done exactly the same prior to game, he was done. And I honestly can say I pulled him in the second game. Every time he played, I pulled him in game 2 because it was just if you have a 20-minute warm up and it was a 15-minute warm up, he just couldn't handle the change. And so it was different. And like you say, every player is different. They all have these things that they've grown up with, and I think it's in every sport. I don't think it's just hockey, but I think every sport the players have certain rituals and the way they look at things and prepare that, and they hate change.
We were talking with Terry before about superstitions. Do you, as a player, have any superstitions that you do before the game?
Me myself, I'm kind of I like to go away from everybody and just kind of get in my own zone. And I grab my stick, my tape, and I kind of go on, kind of just out there.
All right. Well, I guess after these series of games, you're finished the first half of the season. Now, is there, obviously there's been some positives, a few negatives. What are you guys as a coaching staff going to take away from this first half, looking ahead to the next half of the season?
Well, we just got to continue beating the teams we should beat. I think right now, Concordia, we should have beat them. We didn't, but that's a team that we dominated. I thought, shot-wise, and then we just got to get more points off the top 4 teams. And right now, we're one of those teams. Concordia is 3 points behind us, and so as long as we come back in the second half and win the games we're supposed to win, grab a point or here or there against Augustana and Sate and Nate, we'll be fine. Right now, we're actually in a good position, and it's internal pressure that's here. It's you talk to anybody in the league, and they're really happy that we're where we're at. And here we're thinking, well, we're not as happy as we want to be. We want to be higher, so it's a healthy situation for us.
Sure.
And as long as we come back and don't take teams too lightly, and we'll be fine.
Great. All right. Well, game tomorrow against Nate in Edmonton, and then you've got another one on Saturday. Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.